Hey everyone, I'm Cara Di Falco with caradifalco.com, and this week we are going to make a kitchen basic. We are making simple homemade pie crust. Making your own pie crust is so simple. As long as you have a food processor, which is a pretty basic piece of kitchen equipment, there's no reason to buy the store-bought stuff. All we're gonna do is put 2 cups of all-purpose flour in our bowl, a big pinch of salt, 2 sticks of butter, make sure they're nice and chilled, and then we have some ice water. That's what we're gonna use to pull it all together into a dough. So now we're just gonna cut our butter into small pieces and add it in, not too small. Now this was the part where certainly you could make pie crust completely by hand and use forks, but that I think is why the store-bought stuff started to become popular. But again, it's the food processor that makes this really easy. So now we're just gonna top everything off, and we're just gonna pulse this a little bit till we get like a coarse meal in there. All those little pieces in there, that's what you want to look for. That's how we know it's time to add our water. So we're going to put the lid back on, and we're going to put about 3 tablespoons of ice water in through the funnel of the food processor. And just keep an eye on it. If you're a little unsure, add less water. It's going to be easier to add a little more in than it is to go back and add more flour. Once the food processor forms your dough into a nice ball for you, we're just going to set that aside for a sec, have a nice clean surface. We're going to sprinkle it with some more flour and turn our dough out, and we're just going to give it a couple of quick kneads till it's nice and smooth. We don't want it to have any cracks or pieces in it, because then when you go to roll it out again, it's going to keep those. So we just want to pinch our dough in half, and we're going to form it into 2 discs. So this recipe will always give you 2 crusts. And then you want to at least chill it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Otherwise the dough also freezes really well. We're just going to wrap it in saran wrap and set it aside for whatever our future needs are. When you go to use your crust, you just want to let it sit on the counter for about 10 minutes so it makes it a little easier to work with. If you froze the crust, you want to thaw it in the refrigerator first before you go and set it on the counter. I promise you this crust is super delicious and flaky and well worth just that little bit of extra effort than it was to grab the box off the store shelf. That's it for this week at caradifalco.com. I will see you guys next week. Buon appetito!